First, Randy Freer, who's taken over at Hulu, great guy, really focused on providing quality content that people love on their MVPD service. So we structured a deal where we now have 8 channels on Hulu, which is a big deal for us because we want to be on every bundle. Outside the U.S., we're on every bundle. And I've been saying for a long time, you know, we have great content. We're the second largest TV company in America. We reach more women than any media company. And so if you're going to offer a package of services, you have to have HG and food and ID and TLC. And so we've been knocking on the Hulu door. And it's a big deal for us because not only do we have 8 channels on Hulu, but we also offered them a lot of our content so people will be able to catch up on a lot of our favorite series there. They're embracing the idea of nonfiction being compelling. And so it's a very big moment for us.
Now, they had 3 of the Scripps networks, but they're adding 5 of your well, it's all Discovery now.
So together now we'll have 8 channels.
What do the economics of a deal like this look like? Should we consider them to be similar to what they would look like with your typical distributor?
They're favorable. They have to be because in our industry we have these structured most favored
nation deals.
And there's also our bread and butter is our existing distributors that are providing 25 million subscribers. And so by definition, we need to make sure that we get a very favorable deal. And so we were able to do that with Hulu. We think that we're going to provide a lot of value to them. People wanted to see our channels. Now they'll be able to.
Hulu? Are they watching this thing? I just wonder because obviously subscriber fees are great, but you also want advertising. Are there any ratings available? I mean, are they actually aggregating an audience on these things?
Well, look, I think you should have Randy on. He's a terrific guy, but they have almost 1 million subscribers. They're very big in SVOD. And for us, at least, we're now, it's just another platform that we're on. We're platform agnostic. There's a hipness to them. They have a younger demo. And our content, we think now, will do really well for them. People really wanted it. Now they'll get to see it.
Well, I keep hearing, again, I was reading a lot of your calls. Obviously, I know what's going on. Generally, investors have been pushing this. So are there other potential deals? Have you done a deal as well, perhaps with a Sling, which is another big one out there? I know you're on a number of them already, AT&T Watch. You're already 8 of the 30 networks available. But what about something like a Sling?
Well, there's been some real question about Sling and Dish. And just by things coming together, this is, you know, a big moment for us as a company. We have a very big carriage deal, which you saw roll out with DirecTV, where we're 8 of their 30 channels, and we have a very strong relationship with Stanky and with Randall, and we're on all of our existing distributors, whether it be Comcast or Charter. They've been real supporters of us. We did have a deal coming up with Charlie, and effective before the end of the year, with Dish. Effective before the end of this year, that deal will be extended. It is extended, but it'll be effective before the end of the year, where our existing Dish deal will go forward with very favorable economics. Favorable, we think, for Charlie, because our channels have gotten better and are growing big audiences. As part of our traditional deal, not only will all of our channels be carried, but we'll get more carriage for some of our channels that are doing particularly well with the Dish audience. And separate from that, we'll also, we have a commitment that will be carried on Sling before the end of the year. And will be carried on Sling Orange as well as Sling Blue. And so as a company now, as a content company, we look at ourselves and we say, how are we doing in terms of skinny bundles? How are we doing in terms of getting carried on all platforms? With the Hulu deal and now with the Sling deal, effective before the end of the year, we hit the end of the year in 19.
You're going to be on virtually almost all of them, I think,
We'll be on virtually everyone.
Not YouTube. I don't think you're on that.
We aren't on YouTube yet, but we're on virtually we're on everybody else.
You're trying to get, I mean, you spent a lot of time, though, talking about direct-to-consumer. I remember when the Scripps deal happened, and you talked about the power of these networks and the fact that you could take direct-to-consumer. Given you're doing all this, it would seem to me direct-to-consumer is kind of put on the back burner. Is that true?
Before direct-to-consumer, one of the advantages that we think is when you look at like a DirecTV, where we have 8 channels of 30, or we get 8 channels on Hulu.
DirecTV Now.
DirecTV Now, yeah. As these skinny bundles roll out, which we've been calling for aggressively, because this is the only country that's kind of overserved with broadcast, retrans,
well, you've always
sports.
Said, and sports comes in and ruins it because it makes it so expensive.
The skinny bundles are great for consumers, but they're also great for us. We're the second largest TV company. We get about 20% of viewership on cable on any night.
Second
many
only
nights,
to NBC, we should point out.
And on many nights, we have 1/3 of all the women watching TV are watching one of our channels. Now go to a skinny bundle where instead of 150 channels or 100 or 200, there's 30 or 40 channels. In those environments outside the U.S., in many cases, we're getting 40 or 50% of viewership. So the skinny bundles are great for consumers because it gives them a lower entry point, and those that don't love sports don't have to pay for it. But for us, it gives us a chance not just to be viewed in an aggressive way, but to have broad carriage. And so, you know, we sit here today where almost on every platform in America, we're basically set. And so now our mission is just to continue to grow HG and food and ID and Discovery. And if we do that, I think that we're going to have a much healthier outlook here in the U.S. now that we're carried on the skinny bundles.